Hi, this is Christopher Lewis, and welcome to Dating Intelligence, the podcast where we give relationship advice from dating to marriage and everything else in between. And always with the goal of helping you to continuously be the best you at all times.
So if you're looking for real life and honest information to help you navigate your relationships, we've got you covered.
We've got you covered. All right, guys. Hello. We got another episode today. How you doing, Jamie?
I still have my little note written. I feel like you were watching me like, are you going to forget? And I'm like, no, because I wrote it down.
I have it all laid out here now, too. So if you ever fail, I'm going to just start jumping in and reading it, taking your cue.
Do.
I'm going to be, and Jamie says her lines here and start reading that stuff on there. All right. How you doing today, girl?
I'm good. Can I get some sunglasses?
Yeah, you usually bring your sunglasses sometimes as a backup.
I feel a little tired today.
I think we're all still tired today. But guys, we're back at Sticky Paw Studio in Las Vegas, and thank you for having us once again. We just love this place. It's like a second home to me.
I know. I love it.
Actually,
they always take good care of us, too. Like, great. I feel like we show up and they always have like coffee. Like the fridge is always like packed. I found some Twizzlers in there.
Great.
And then we get to come in sometimes and see Vanessa, who we have today.
Right. We got a great guest today, guys.
I'm really excited.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. She's fucking little hottie. So, all right. So guys, we're just going to jump right into this one and we can just backtrack whatever we want to do, move forward. Our guest today basically lives most of her life in the gym. She's a model and bodybuilder who works extremely hard on keeping herself in tip-top shape to compete in the professional world of muscle and fitness. This gorgeous beauty is dubbed the pint-sized warrior, which I can totally see why, because she looks like she could be an Amazon warrior despite her size, because she's so fucking strong and hot. Please welcome Vanessa Serros to the show.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, sweetheart?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm a little sleepy today, too, but I'm diving in. I'm excited to see what you have for me today.
You put it together really this early really well, so thank you for that.
I've learned to be quick.
Good.
I couldn't tell. Like, she walked in and she's like, yeah, usually I need like, 9-10 hours
of sleep.
I'm like, finally, someone else that's like on my
level.
Yeah. Like, let's just go take a nap, Vanessa. Come on.
I'm like a cat,
We'll take a pause. Okay, we're going to take a pause and take a 10-minute nap, come back, redo
right.
this. Okay.
Well, I don't take naps. Do you take naps?
I cannot take naps.
What about you?
Either. Yeah. John does every single day.
Yeah,
every day.
can't.
Certain time of the day, usually, or just whenever?
Usually in the afternoon,
okay.
But he's falls asleep on the couch every single night, and I have to go put him in bed.
Yeah. But that's a thing, though. I mean, when it gets later in the day, I do admit there's times, which we probably all feel, where there's this time that you have that lull, and you just kind of also your body just feels like it wants to shut down, and you're just like, I can't do it right now, So I kind of get up and start keeping myself busy so I don't fall asleep, because it does throw me off the rest of the day if I do.
Right.
Does it do it to you?
I can't even take a nap.
Okay.
Even though I'm like exhausted, if I lay down, it's like I don't fall asleep until it's nighttime.
Right.
So it's like a waste for me.
Same. Or if I do take a nap, I wake up and I'm so groggy, I'm completely useless the
rest
rest
of
the day.
It's like ruined the day.
That's me as well, right. I get super groggy and it just throws me off.
But there's some people that can take little cat naps for like 15, 20 minutes and then they're good to go.
Okay.
Me, not so much.
John will fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway.
Do you think it's because
he takes them in that room all the time on the couch?
Does he put a sign out there, or does he put anything? Okay.
People walk by and they're like, oh, okay.
What's he doing?
Yeah.
And he's out.
Yeah.
Do you think that it's like older people that take naps though? Not that I'm saying that,
right.
But I feel like
that's where we're going, right?
I feel like younger people don't really nap.
No, I think it's just, once again, okay, well, we could probably say this. You're probably right. They don't nap because they do sleep longer. Like, I realize as you, let's go with like little kids, right? Like they'll go to bed early, they'll get up early, and they'll maybe take a nap, right? As you turn the teenage part of life, all of a sudden those teenage lifestyle kids apparently can sleep all day. I remember as a kid, like I go to bed at like 1 a.m. and sleep till like 2 p.m, and then college, forget it. You're asleep all day until you have to do something for the most part. And then I don't know. I feel like it changes at a certain part of time.
I still like to get 8 hours.
Okay. 5 for me, 5, 6 tops.
Man.
For me.
I'm like 9 or 10.
Okay. This is why she comes in glowing. She walked through the door.
I
She's
know.
like, there's like this halo around you, man. What the hell?
I haven't gotten it in 5 days. Had a crazy Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah, tell us about it. Right? What's going on?
It's fun. It's a tradition every year. We have a group of about 10 people come out from the East Coast, Detroit and Florida. And I actually met all of them the weekend John and I met.
Okay.
So it's really cool. So this is the 5th year we've gotten together.
And they're religiously coming out here for that.
Every year.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fun time.
And then how long have you and John been dating?
5 years.
5 years.
5
Right.
years.
Well, before we get into that, though, because we're going to talk a little bit more about your dating
Yeah.
life and everything, tell us a little bit more about yourself. Like, I know that you're considered like the pint-sized warrior. You're in the fitness. How did this all
Yeah.
start for you? What's
A
the
little
origin?
hidden today, but it's in there. I don't actually
I don't know what
compete
she's talking about
anymore.
because I can see.
I
see
see
it?
your muscle through your
See the
shirt.
tone,
I
like,
can see the
amazing.
vein
Yeah.
in your arm.
Yeah. Yeah, you're fit.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Well, I don't compete anymore. I
Okay.
actually only did a few, like 5 or maybe 6, 7 years ago now. So I just gave that a little shot, but it wasn't for me, to be honest.
Why
I just
not?
didn't like the lifestyle of it. I didn't like, paying all this money for subjective judges to tell me what I should look like. It's a long story, but I would rather just do it for myself,
Gotcha.
for my own, sense of accomplishment and just feeling good and looking the way I want to look.
I like that.
Not based on like category expectations.
Because there are categories, right? In
Yeah.
theory?
Yeah,
Okay.
like bikini, figure, physique.
What was
Yeah.
your realm at the time when you decided to do that? What category
I
did you?
really wanted to do figure, which is
Okay.
pretty extreme.
So explain that then.
And I was, a few years ago, I was jacked. Like I had another like 10 pounds on me.
Wow.
I was obsessed.
Where does it go?
during college.
So what is figure? Is it like based on your like muscle? Is it based on?
Yeah, figure is very muscular category. You have like muscle striations and like
Okay.
definition on every single muscle. Bikini is a little more like sexy, just fit and firm look.
Okay. And then what was the other
Figure
one?
is like it's pretty intense.
Gotcha.
But I was all about it. Now my attitude about it has shifted into like being a little more balanced and feminine now. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
but
great.
back then I was just like, that's what I want.
And how did you decide to get into this? Like, I know, like, obviously it was for you how it started, I'm sure. But I think you were a gymnast as well. A little bit. Is that right?
As a kid. It was
Okay.
a long time ago. But I was a gymnast in middle school and high school. And then once I quit, because it's like, it's 4 or 5 hours a day, 5 or 6 days a week. It's insanity.
Right.
But it was so much fun and I love challenging myself physically. And I first saw my abs in like 7th grade and it was so exciting. And I became obsessed with them. Like, this is so cool. And I just loved that whole look. And I loved being strong and I loved like beating the boys in PE. And it just felt really empowering for me. So when I quit gymnastics to focus on school more, I started in the gym, weight training. And it was just like, because I wanted to continue how I felt.
It was like a supplement to
and
that.
take care of myself. But, gymnastics is like the extreme. And I just couldn't handle that. But
Was there anyone else in 7th grade that had a 6-pack?
not that I know of. But I distinctly remember, like, I had this red dress that I wore to a wedding. I can't even remember whose. But I could see my abs through that. And my family was just like, oh, my God, this girl's just ridiculous. You could, it was, like, fitted. And I was just so proud of them. And I've held on to that, obviously.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Well, you still have abs because
Yeah.
I've seen her in here working because you freaking painted the studio, didn't you? And I'm like, holy shit, her body is like freaking rock solid.
Yeah, it's kicking, I tell you.
Thank you.
How was your gymnastics life, by the way? I mean, competitive? Were you?
I was competitive.
Got it.
But I actually didn't start until I was 10 years old, which is actually really late.
Yeah.
And most kids start at like 3 or 4 years old. So I was kind of the older girl on my team.
Okay.
But I did make it to level 7 by the time I quit. I didn't get to compete in level 7 because I was just like, this is too much.
Right.
Too much of a commitment and hard on your body and you can't focus on school. But
Gotta have a social
I did
life,
really
too.
well.
How many levels are there?
10.
Okay.
10 before Olympic.
Okay.
Wow.
So it was pretty serious. It was hardcore. The coaches are crazy.
Yeah, I can only imagine because, like you said, you're out there probably like 6 hours every day on practicing and stuff.
Yeah, you don't have
Is there
time.
weight training in this as well during all this
No.
time?
No, in gymnastics, no. It's all push-ups, pull-ups, V-ups.
Yeah, because I mean, those girls are they're fit already as it is.
Right.
So.
And then 4 hours of just practice.
Did you tumble? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Can you still?
Yeah, a
tumble?
little bit, the basics. Yeah. I actually, after I quit competing, I taught little kids for a while. And then when I was at UCSD, I taught kids again, and then I took a men's gymnastics class.
What?
So yeah, I was the only girl, obviously, but I was doing rings and like pommel
That's
horse
amazing.
and the parallel bars. It was fun.
Are you fearless because of this? I feel like a gymnastics girl or guy has because with the tumbling and
Kinda
the
depends
twisting.
what it is.
Okay.
Tumbling is so much fun though. Like if you give me a gymnastics floor, I'm
Right.
just so excited. Or a trampoline, if somebody has one at their house, I'm like, okay, I'll see you guys
She's
in like
like
4
on
hours.
it.
Yeah. See, that's
I'm like, I'll see you later.
Do you still have your tuck?
I haven't tried it in so long. Actually, I tried it at the UFC with Julian Marquez. He just like gave me a little spot. I can still do it with a spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm too afraid to try it without a spot.
Some of my hot friends that like gymnastics will be on the beach and I'm like, do a tuck. And she's like, if no one spots me here, I'll break my neck. The sand is so hard.
I just don't have the confidence that I used to try it by myself.
Yeah.
I can still do a back handspring and an aerial. But,
And that's what I wanted to know about fearlessness, because I know like just doing that in itself. I mean, I know you get accustomed to it and you learn obviously how to do it, but learning how to do like the doubles or whatever it is at that point. I mean, it's scary as shit.
Scary stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you?
And
bungee?
I did get hurt. I did get hurt tumbling. After I quit competing, I did just tumbling for like 2 years. I just went like once a week just for fun, just to keep going. And I ended up fracturing my wrist because I fell. I was doing a round off handspring, back tuck, like a long pass.
Okay.
And I was so exhausted because I was diving at school in high school. I tried to do that too. But I did that for like 2 hours, and then I went to tumbling. I was just so tired. I fell on my neck.
Oh my gosh.
And I fractured my wrist. And,
wow. Yeah.
so you gotta be careful.
So she's a little fearless then. And
She
because
is.
you just said something, you were on the diving team too, which means that you translated your gymnast to another
Well, I tried
sport.
to. It didn't last long because I got hurt. I got hurt in tumbling, but I tried.
Damn you being tired. Damn you.
But give me a trampoline. If you take me to a trampoline park, I'm like a little kid. I'm like, just let me go. I just want
Oh my gosh, how fun.
Yeah. Well, apparently it sounds like, apparently it sounds like, you transitioning into going into the gym sound like it motivated you and it cured you from, because I was going to say, do you miss doing gymnastics? Like if I stopped playing tennis, I feel like I always say I'm not going to miss it because I'm on the court 10 hours a day. But I know if even on a weekend when I'm not playing, I get that urge to play. So, but you've supplemented that with gym work now. And how often, so what is your time in the gym compared to, it's a lot of hours, right?
Usually 4 or 5 days a week for about an hour.
Okay. So it's only about an hour now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's a little more reasonable, a little easier to keep up with. But when I was at UCSD and I was really obsessed, I wanted to be in figure. I was there like twice a day, 6 days a week. It's like all I thought about besides school.
Okay. Do you ever
It was
feel that
everything.
way?
I was crazy.
Do you feel that way now? Like, is there a day when you go in the gym, you're like, I did a workout for an hour. Not enough today. I want to go back.
Not anymore.
Okay.
To be honest.
Yeah. Then you're past that time.
No,
now.
but gymnastics, I do still miss. Like I said, if I see a trampoline or a spring floor, I'm like, all right.
She's on it.
I'm just like, can I have this for the rest of the day? Because I just want to play.
Well, it's funny you say that.
Why don't
Travis,
you put
where's
a
that little
trampoline
tramp
in your
that
backyard?
I want to. But I also really want a pool, which we're trying to get built. And
Yeah.
I don't know if there's room for both.
I have
And
the-
your insurance goes way up with a trampoline.
It does?
Yes.
Does
How
it
do
really?
they know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I
Okay.
don't know exactly, but
Yeah.
Well, it's the same as
'Cause
the
so
diving
many people
board
get
theory.
hurt.
It's like the diving
Yeah.
board theory. Like you can't have, unless a house already has a diving board, I think already at the pool.
You can't put them in anymore?
No, you can't.
yeah, you can't. It's too dangerous. Too many people get hurt.
Well, I just put a trampoline in my backyard and didn't tell anyone.
Did you? Don't tell anyone. Can I come over?
Yes, please.
I was going to say,
Yes.
didn't we bring that spring form in here and that trampoline for her to jump on today? That's what I want. I wish we
As a
would.
little
Love
mini.
that. That'll wake me up better than this coffee.
That's awesome.
All right. So anyway, so with
Okay.
that work-wise and things now that you're in the gym, what else do you do with your days now? What does that entail for you?
So the last 2 years, pretty much because of COVID, I've just been living off of social media. And
Okay.
like I do OnlyFans as well. But I'm actually going back to bottle service. I did 3 years at Wet Republic, and I'm going back. So
Nice.
excited.
Great.
I wasn't supposed to say that yet, but I am. But it's starting in a few weeks anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I do bottle service. Super fun. Have you been to Wet Republic?
I've only like a while back. No, it's been a while. I mean, I haven't
Yeah.
been to Vegas since probably it's been like 5 years.
Oh, really?
Actually, it was last time I was here until we started
Like,
doing stuff.
you mean, because
Before
you're
we started
in Vegas
doing
a lot with me now.
Yes, I mean, so
but like partying
since July,
kind of.
I haven't been back probably 4 years. So probably 2 years before COVID hit.
Wow. Okay.
So last time I
Okay.
was here.
Well, you guys
Yeah.
should come out there sometime.
Okay.
For sure.
We'll take you up on
Fun.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might stay for 10 minutes because that's all we do now. we're the in and outs now.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
But okay, so out of all the pools, is Wet Republic your favorite? Because she's hot and she could get a job at any freaking pool here.
Wet is like the top. That's the job everybody wants. So it's
Okay,
Okay,
that's
what
great.
what sets it
really
apart from all
excited.
the other pools?
It's the most competitive. It's been known as the most competitive to get the job for the last 10, 13 years.
Okay.
And we make really good money.
Amazing
So
money.
yeah.
So these girls work like what, 5-6 months?
We work like 7 months, 7, 8. So it's March through October.
I was going to ask, so the season
Yeah.
literally starts March 1st in general then?
We open on the 4th.
Gotcha.
And I'll start training in a couple weeks.
Okay.
And they'll earn well over 6 figures.
It's craziness. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to be in your
It's
section.
fun stuff. But when I'm not there, I'm here usually.
Okay.
And helping John and with his crazy life.
When he's not
So,
sleeping, you mean?
Yeah.
Basically?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever taken over for Travis before here?
I have
by the way?
not. No.
By the way, guys.
Look at Travis. He's shaking his head
He's like, no,
Vanessa,
I'm not the
way.
tech.
Mine.
I'm not the tech person. I'm like the design person.
Yeah.
I was going to say, by the way, we're talking about John Orlando. He's actually on our show. He's actually the owner of Sticky Paw Studio, and he
Yes.
actually was on our episode with Travis over there, Travis Flesher. So
Right.
that's who she's discussing with right now. So she does a
Right.
lot of things around the studio, which is the paint job's amazing. I think you need to
Thank
probably
you.
have them do something with the headphones for you girls. Maybe talk
I
with Travis about
should.
that. Yeah.
Like rhinestones, bling it up.
There
Yeah,
you go.
something.
Yeah, I think you guys were
If
wrong.
you don't
Had some
want-
rhinestones on it.
We
Put a
could
bow
do
on it.
that. A bow?
A bow.
I don't
Then
know.
would you want to wear it? No.
I mean, sometimes I wear them, but if
You
I'm...
could do like cat ears.
Yeah. I love it. We could decorate them up.
Okay.
I'm going to put a horn on your... No, I'm just kidding.
Just because I know Travis wants us to wear them. So
Anyways, on top of it,
Like,
yeah, for
does
sure.
it make a difference that I'm not wearing them today?
No, because you're a trained host, so you're pretty good.
you're staying where
Okay.
you need to be.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Let's cover
So,
up.
yeah.
Look-
Sometimes
She
I
knows what
wear
she's
them
doing.
and sometimes I don't.
Right.
It just depends.
Right. But you look great, whatever
Yeah.
it is. So, all right. So we're going to jump into our episode for the day. And
Okay.
so
Our topic.
this is going to be great. I think it's going to fit along the lines of what you're doing and what we all actually are in our lives. This episode's called Mind the Gap. When you're dating, how much does the difference in your age range factor into playing a significant role in your relationship life? So they say that the average span of age difference is usually about 1 to 3 years. That's the average age span. So
And I disagree because
Well
I've never
beyond that.
I've never fit in that range with the
No?
people I've dated. Never.
right. My current girlfriend, she's 6 years younger than me. So I feel like
That's a good gap.
Yeah, I feel like it just depends on the person, and most people, it's hard nowadays as we get older as well to actually, the first thing you're going to go to someone and says, "So how old are you? Are you in my range?" It's like no, I feel like it's such a thing that doesn't need to ever be spoken about.
Yeah, I never ask anyone's age, like male or female, because I feel like it's not the number that shows up to the room, it's the energy. So
Right.
it's the energy that someone brings. So that's what attracts me to like a person is their energy. I never think of the number. I don't want to ask. I don't care. Like later on down the line, maybe I'll say, "Oh, how old are you?" But at that point, usually it doesn't matter because someone brings like that energy.
That's right. I mean, unless
So-
they're riding a tricycle or something like that,
Yeah.
or a bike to school
Right.
still. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a thing. So, what do you think, Vanessa, on this one? We're going to get into you because we know. Go
Well-
ahead, come share. Go ahead.
Well, John is actually 21 years older than me.
And he's like a big kid, by the way,
He's-
people.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big kid for sure.
Yeah.
But he's mature enough that it works.
Okay, good. And I feel like you're mature enough to make it work.
Yes.
So
Yes.
kudos to that one. So tell us how many years now for you guys?
We've been together for 5 years.
Okay.
Just about a week ago. It's 5 years.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you're still in it. You're not going to leave this guy, huh?
No, I'm in it.
All right,
I'm in
you're
it for
not
the
waiting
long
for
haul.
that.
So when I was telling her when I first met John, because we were looking for a place to have like studios. So I'm like, okay, let's grab a bite to eat. And he was like, chick is weird. He'll tell you the story. He's like, this is weird. No one wants to like meet. But I was like, I want to know who I'm working with.
Yeah.
And so after we started talking, he had said like a few things and I didn't ask his age, but he volunteered his age. And I was like, what the fuck? How old are you? Because it didn't,
Match up.
the energy didn't match the number
Yeah.
for me. So I was telling her, I would have assumed he was like in his mid 30s. So
Right.
when he said that
love
he
that.
was like 51, I was like, what? And then he showed me a photo of you and I'm like, oh my God, your girlfriend's so freaking hot.
I remember when he
you.
showed me
So-
the photo and I was like, whoa, what the hell? And I was like, but
Yeah.
John is funny as shit. And you're right. He's like a big
hilarious.
kid.
Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
telling her, I was like, even though, like, if you were to tell someone, oh, we're like 21 years apart, you'd be like, what the heck? Or people get this mentality, they think, oh, perv with a younger girl. But when they're together, it's like their energies match and it's not weird or awkward at all.
Right. And that's the thing. I believe, like, just sitting here talking to you with right now, you know, I feel like it's knowing him, it matches up really, really well. You know, you have this maturity about you and everything that matches up to his, I'm not going to say immaturity, but because, like, I mean, I'm the same way as well, the level, because I know that he's such a good guy. Yeah. He's funny as shit. I'm sure he has you in stitches all the time.
Yes.
Besides his naps, I'm sure he needs his naps. I mean, I don't
to power up for that energy. Yeah.
Yes, that's true too. Right. Maybe I should take more naps. Shit, I forgot about that. Hey, honey, here we go. You start taking those naps, girl. No, but you're probably right though. So what do you guys? What do you feel are like Let's start with your likenesses first of all. What attracted you to him? And I mean, I know the story on how he pursued and all that stuff.
You do. He told you.
Fantastic story, by the way. But if you want to share a little bit of that from your point of view.
When you first saw him, my question, sorry to interrupt, was were you initially attracted to him right away?
I was, but it's kind of a weird story. So I was actually coming out of a really long relationship, and I was 25, and I was working at a steakhouse just for the winter, like between pools. And he came in, and like, I thought he was attractive, but I wasn't really interested because I was in the tail end of like dealing with just so much drama. I was like, I'm not interested in anybody right now, but he was cute and he was playful. And I was just like, oh, this could be kind of fun just for a little entertainment. Like I didn't think it was going to go anywhere.
Right.
But he was very persistent, and you know, that one weekend he got me.
That's great.
He got me. I don't know how it happened, but I'm here.
And she's been with him like ever since.
I know, which has been amazing.
5 years, and we spend almost every day together. Like we miss each other when we're gone for 2 days. Like we love
works.
it. Yeah, we don't ever get tired of each other.
Did you know at the time, in your mind, when he did finally get you, age? Did that come into play at the time? Because like Jamie says, she never asked anyone. Did he, or did John just bring out? So I'm blah, blah, blah years old.
He said that the second day.
Okay.
So the second day he came in with that group that comes out for Super Bowl. They came to dinner, and I was working at the restaurant, and he was being really like playful with me and like telling them I'll have to tell you this. He was telling them that he's going to marry me someday. And I was like, oh my God, this guy.
That's what he said.
Yes,
this guy.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. I was just kind of having fun, like playing with him and kind of teasing him, I guess. But after the dinner, he came and he talked to me for like 2 hours at the host stand. Like, I'm surprised my manager wasn't like, dude, get out of here.
Kind of scram.
They were all just hanging out, and we were just having such a good time. And he was really nervous to tell me his age. He was like, he asked me first.
Okay.
Because I look like a baby. I mean, 5 years ago. I still do, but when I look at old pictures, I'm like, oh my God. My face has grown up a lot. But he told me 46, and he like cringed when he said it. And I wasn't fazed. And the reason actually is because one of the girls I was working with, she was dating an older guy.
Okay.
They have like a 23-year difference or something like that. And I always thought it was weird. I had a couple of girlfriends that dated guys in their 40s, and I was like, I just don't get it. It seems so weird to me. Like, how does that happen? But this girl seemed so happy, and she was always telling me about them, and I was talking about my issues with my last relationship and stuff. And so I really thank her for like opening my eyes to that and being open to the idea, because otherwise when he said 46, I probably would have been like, yeah, no,
right.
you know.
Right.
But just the months of working with her and hearing her stories and how great it was going, and like she didn't feel the difference. I was like, you know what?
Oh.
I'm actually going to give this a shot.
Okay.
So I really give her credit.
Yeah.
For,
are they still together as well?
They are.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
What? That's so cool.
That's really amazing.
Yeah.
You know, so I did some research, and they said that gaps like that, 15 plus whatever it is, you really have to get to know your partner's interest and differences, because you're so far apart. I remember John was making a joke, and he was saying like for instance, I was talking about the Dukes of Hazzard one day, and she's like, wait, what, the Dukes of who? You know, like the Dukes of Huntington, what? But, you know, just little things like that, or movie references, and some things that you probably are nostalgia to us, or just be like something brand new to you. Yeah. Those are things that you learn how to mesh up a little bit better, and it's just the appreciation, I feel, of
what
it as
about
well.
the music?
That happens a lot.
Yeah, the music for sure.
The music I feel like I'm really familiar with, because my parents and my brother listen to a lot of older music.
Okay.
So I'm just very familiar with all of that. Okay. But movies and a lot of other references, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's before my time.
What about vice versa for you to him, though? When you say something, does he sit there and go, wait, what? Do you say anything?
Actually, I think he's pretty in tune with everything from my generation too. Yeah.
That's great. That's really cool. I like that.
That's what Dan was saying when he was dating. He was talking about like Dumb and Dumber, and the girl's like, "What's that?" Like she didn't know the movie.
Or there's things that, like I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I don't know it. Like it doesn't mean anything to me. I just
Right. I kind of like that a little bit because it's almost an appreciation if you're interested in that. You go, you know, I'd love to see this or something. I feel like it's an appreciation of each other to make it work. And that's why I was saying that, like some of the research is saying it actually works better sometimes. But I also feel like there's certain things from that end as well where we'll go with this, like, what are people's views on you half the time? You know, I'm sure there's people probably given, and I wouldn't say the eyeball per se, but do you ever feel like, do you personally ever feel like there's eyes on us? Or are you past that point now?
I mean, I feel it, but I don't feel like people are judging us when we're out together. Because like you said, I don't think we look weird together. It's not like he looks so much older than me. Like he looks great.
Yeah.
I think he's sexy. He's like, I don't think we look like an odd couple, but I think I get more of that judgment online. Like through Instagram, like I get messages and rude comments and people just making assumptions, you know.
Right.
That's because they're behind a screen. So it's
Right.
always
It's easier.
But I'm telling you, like when you see you guys, like when I see them, like the energies like match up and it's like a good fit.
Yeah.
Like I feel like she's lucky to have him and I think he's way lucky to have you.
He does. He
Do you know what I
definitely
mean? Like
does.
it works and it's like a fit.
Yeah, I definitely feel just as lucky, you know.
Okay. It is a good
We're
fit.
so happy. And like the group that we were hanging out with this week, they're all older. They're all in their 40s and 50s. And like I'm the 30-year-old baby, but like we just have so much fun. And I feel like I fit in with them because I feel like I'm kind of an old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing too. I feel like, that's another part of it as well. I feel like your souls have to match up with that being said. But that's why I said your maturity level brings up his, you know, it plays off each other and that's why it matches up well. And I was thinking about this episode before you came on when I made this one up on how I have a bunch of friends where it's the same age gap in theory though.
Yeah.
And they
Really?
all get along really, really
21
well.
years?
Anywhere between 15 and 20, let's say.
Okay.
But all of them they're married. They all get along really well. And you realize it's on how they both match up in the middle somewhere with the maturity levels. It's usually in this case where I hate to say it because we all are. I mean, we're fucking immature. Guys are immature, you know, but those are the ones,
It takes them longer, you know.
But these guys that are doing it like that are all great. They all have great hearts. They're good souls. And then their girls are probably about 15 to 20 years younger, but those girls are old souls. Like, and it matches up really well. They're not immature. They know what they're doing in their life. They don't need the guy for anything, you know.
Yeah.
And they just do their own thing.
And I think that's part of the hard part, like online. It's people that don't actually know me, and they just make assumptions because they're like, "Oh, hot girl in Vegas, she's a bottle service, like she must be a gold digger. It must be because he might have money or something like that." But he's such a great guy. He's so funny. Like we just connected that first weekend so much, and we're best friends. Like it has nothing to do with that.
Right.
But it's easy for people to assume when there's an age difference. Like that must be the only reason. Like,
and I can agree. You know,
it's sad that you feel that way,
it's
but
true.
you know,
The assumption that you just said, which I like that though too, it's like, this is why you guys are together. This is what I'm talking about, why people, the ones that do it well, get married. Because yes, at a time, he might have dated a younger girl where you get caught in that category and that girl is not up to par for him to be the one. Like you're the one.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure if John went out a couple of younger girls before, he ain't with them now because it didn't match up. So that probably is true to some
because they were
points.
after the wrong thing.
Exactly, at the time. And they didn't match up the right way. What's your story, girl?
Is it hard for? I have more questions.
Okay. I'm so ready to get into her story. She's got a good one too.
What about with your friends? Can you bring your friends out with his friends, and is it a good?
Yeah,
okay, and they still like have fun, and it's good.
Yeah, we do stuff with my friends and his friends all the time. We have parties at our house, and we go out, and I take like his friends out to the clubs with us sometimes, and like obviously they're just entertained because they haven't been doing it for the last how many years.
Right.
They're just happy to be out with us young girls, and so it's fun.
That's great.
But like I feel like my friend group, I surround myself with like-minded people, and they're all, you know, they're super fun, but they're mature. And they're open-minded, and
They're on board with you.
Yeah.
That's important.
Because
so we all
it's
get
not the
along.
number, right? It's like it's an energy thing. Like the energy matches.
Right. Well, I knew
And
someone
a lot of
who
people get caught up on that number.
No, that's the thing. So that was a good question about her friends, because I know someone where she went out with someone older, 20 years older, and her friends were like, this is probably mid-20s to between 20 and 30, and they were like, what are you doing with him? Like they came in, only met him one time, and they already started judging, he's older. Why are you with this guy? And blah, blah, blah. And it was just like, if you would know her, and if you're a friend of hers, you should know that she's making a good decision on who she's going out with. And that starts to, so I'm glad that you said that you have a really good group of girlfriends that understand.
Yeah.
So
it just happened instantly. Like there was no resistance, no weirdness. Like it was totally fine. We all have fun together. And yeah, we range from like the early 20s to like late 50s. Yeah. We have so many friends, we all get together and it's great.
I love it. I think that's so cool. So my girlfriend is dating someone that's about 18 years older than her, but I have another girlfriend that's like, I don't want to hang out with him. He's so old. Like, it's just weird. And
you mean
like,
as a friend with those two together, you mean? Or
so no, they're seeing each other.
Okay.
And then my other girlfriend doesn't want to go around because she's like, no, he's like an old guy. I don't want to like hang out with him. And I'm like, he's so cool.
You know what though? Also, I think it has to do with living in Vegas too. And all my friends pretty much are in bottle service or service industry. And so we take care of so many people partying at all different ages. From 20s to 50s, even older. And we see like, they're the same. They're still the same immature, like fun guys. Like it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
I love when I'm like out and I see like someone that's older and I'm like,
they're having a blast.
Yeah. I was like, I think he is like old enough to be my dad, but he's on the table, like living his best life.
Right.
But I get excited for them. Like I'm not ever looking at him like,
good for you.
Yeah. I'm not like, ew, how embarrassing. Or I get happy and I'm like, oh my God.
Live it up.
I love it too.
I'm like, he's living his best life. I'm going over there to hang out with him.
Right.
Okay, so that poses a good question then off of that note then. So if those type of guys that you see like that, who are living their best life all the time and end up dating someone younger, which I wholeheartedly think that that's the way to go. What if it's just a guy that's just a little more conservative and he's got a younger girl, but they just don't, you know what I mean? Like they don't match up. But there's a connection there that they match up spiritually, but you can just see. Have you ever felt that way? Does that make sense to you, girls?
I mean, you see people and they look a little odd, but at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's our place to judge. So if it works for them, then I'm all about it. But sometimes they, like look-wise, like it doesn't.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. And that's what I meant by that. So it's like, if you know them and all of a sudden, oh, there's Mr. And by the way, I'm going to backtrack because once again, I love it all. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing as if a guy and a girl with the same age and he's a curmudgeon, and she's like a fucking party girl, like, fun girl. And you're like, why does your husband have to come out with us? Or why has he got to come? You know that guy?
Such a downer.
So I guess it doesn't matter. I call him the unfun hun, basically. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it can happen at any given age. It doesn't matter. It's just as long as you guys are meant to be in fun, that's what I like.
My girlfriend has a roommate and he is like 80 years old. And it's so freaking weird. How
did this happen?
Okay, that's such a great story, but she's young, hot, like model, but it's her mom's ex-boyfriend. And so I know it's so fucking weird. Wait, listen to this.
Wow.
She's going to kill me, but I don't care. It's such a great story. But
we won't say names.
Yeah. So the roommate is like, he might even be older than 80, you guys, but he's an old man. He's older than my dad. So, but he's
you're making that guy feel real good right about now.
It's fine. It's fine.
He's not listening to podcasts.
He's definitely not listening. But he's a perv. So I'm like, and my girlfriend's very like conservative. So it's so awkward because I'm like, I just don't even see like how this works. But when I finally went over there and like hung out, which sometimes I won't even go over there now if he's there because he is kind of like perverted, he literally caters to her and takes care of her. Like he takes care of her dogs because she travels all the time. So he's like the perfect roommate for her. But they're such like great friends that he wants to come out with us. So I'm like,
no way.
Yeah. So when we go to the movie, sometimes she wants to bring her roommate and I'm like, she'll sneak him because she knows now, like, I'm not going because he always wants to sit by me. He falls asleep and I feel like people look at us like he's the sugar daddy.
Right.
And
I don't want that assumption.
Yeah, he kind of like irritates me a little bit if I'm being honest.
Right.
But so now I'm just like, if you're bringing the roommate, like I'm out. But she like sneaks him.
Right.
Like, like
But
events
but
and
it sounds
stuff,
like you're
and I'm
saying the
so
same thing like
interesting.
you had said before.
Yeah, so it's like I can see how it works for her, but for me, like he's not someone that he doesn't really bring like value. Like we don't have good conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes like his comments are like a little like inappropriate, so it makes me feel uncomfortable. So it's just not like my vibe.
Okay.
Like nothing against him like personally, just for me, it's not
Right.
like a good fit, but I can see how it works for her, like as the roommate, but everyone always just assumes. And I'm like, no, that's her house. She paid for the house. He's renting the room. Like he's not,
Like,
trust
you
me.
don't understand.
He is not the sugar daddy. And like
Can we stop by this friend's house?
That's
Oh my gosh.
hilarious.
Yeah, you can meet. We should have Mark on because I just said his name, but he does like the dating apps and everything.
Okay.
And I'm
God,
always
we gotta
like,
meet this
kidding.
guy.
You gotta talk to him.
Oh, please.
And we'll bring her because she's just like, she's just super like sweet,
Oh, this
beautiful.
is a perfect show right now.
model.
That sounds like a
Vanessa,
good
you
one.
want in on this one? You
okay,
want to sit
so-
on this one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So the age gap with them is, I don't know, it's pretty big, but they like, it's like they're a couple, but without the sex.
Right. That works.
Anyway, so that's like an instance where I've like seen it and I'm like, this is freaking weird.
You're just so confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like when I see, like, it's completely opposite because when I see like Vanessa and John, I'm like, oh, this works.
Right.
And the number never like comes into play. Like
Yeah.
looks wise, it matches up to where this particular, which they're not like a romantic couple, but it does not match up at all. You're like, okay, is the dad, like, who is this? And then it gets weird when you're like, no, he's just the roommate, but he used to date her mom.
That's really funny. Gives an
Wow.
interesting story.
So,
Very
yeah.
interesting story.
But
So.
anyway, I feel like I got totally off topic there.
No,
it's-
that was a great tangent.
It's all
great.
the same because it's just like, once again, it's just the age gap of just what your feelings were, how you feel around him versus how she feels around him.
Yeah, it's like night
know?
and day.
Right.
But then I get like upset at my other friend that's like judging my other friend about dating like older. Cause I'm
Right.
like, if you just gave him a shot, cause she's like, oh, I don't want to hang out with him. He's an old guy. I'm like, trust me, if you just like came out and gave him a shot, you would really like him.
Right.
Cause yeah, he is older, but he's such a cool, nice guy.
I feel like that has nothing to do with, but once again, I feel like if she's friends with that girl, she should understand who her friend is. And this is what some of the problem.
She's
It's like,
not being supportive.
right. The
friend.
judginess is coming from a own personal place. Like you said, how most of these people, what we always say when someone comments on
They don't
something.
actually know me.
Exactly.
They just see a picture and
Right.
think they know me.
Yes.
Right. But when a friend knows you and still makes those sort of comments, they really, that really throws me off for a loop though.
Right.
It's personal problems. So, all right. Well, I got some more stuff on here. So
Yes.
like, okay. So I want to know,
Throw
like,
'em at me.
what for you, John's not in the room, but what are your differences? What do you see, like things that, oh, he doesn't like doing this or da-da-da, or do you guys, cause it's gotta be something that, we all have something. I have that with my current girlfriend. There's something that she doesn't like doing. Like, for instance, she doesn't like to like watch sports with me.
So that wouldn't necessarily
Which I-
be like an age thing though.
I know. I just want to know
Yeah,
differences.
just a personality.
This is just,
Yeah.
just personality differences. That's what I'm getting at. So.
Well, if you know John at all, he's super bougie and he likes everything really nice. He likes to stay at super nice hotels, which is great. Like, I love that too. But he does not ever want to go camping, hiking. Like, he wouldn't want to stay in some like thatched roof place in Mexico. He'd be like, no, we're staying at like the Ritz or something crazy like that.
Would you go
know?
and do that by yourself with friends? And he's like, go, yeah, have fun.
I think, yeah. And I've done a couple of those things.
Great.
And I take hiking trips with my girlfriends, or we drive to like Utah and things like that. So I'm not huge outdoorsy. I don't necessarily want to camp like in a sleeping bag and tent, but I'm definitely more open to that stuff. And John's just like, no, not going to
like,
do it.
have
Not going
fun.
to do it. Yeah.
So you'll drive out to Zion, like hike for the day, and that's not something that he'd want to spend his day doing.
No,
Yeah.
he's not going to do it, but it's fine with me. It doesn't
Yeah.
bother me at all. No.
Because then she has like her own time to like get out and escape
Yeah.
too.
Well, I think everyone
my
should.
own-
That's great. For
My
sure.
own time with my friends. Yeah.
That's really good. That's one thing I like about age gaps like that as well, is because I feel like one person's already lived some life and they want you to hopefully be able to live some life as well by giving you the freedom. And this is another one of the things that all of my friends do have that age gap that they do. Like the girls will go traveling off with their friends or whatever like that. And the guy's like, hey, why don't you go? I already did that. I don't really like doing that or whatever. And they give them the freedom to do all that stuff because quite frankly, you still have a life ahead of you that you still want to explore and stuff too.
Yeah.
It's great if they can do it with you, obviously, but I like the fact that most people give you the freedom to go and do that.
Definitely, because he's lived so many years and experienced all these things that like I just haven't even had a chance to experience. So
what's one thing like on your bucket list to do with him?
With him, I don't know. I definitely want to travel more. We don't travel as much as we want to. We've been a couple cool places like the Bahamas, but I want to go to like Thailand and the Maldives.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Place like that.
We'll go with you.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
But see, like I like the nice hotels and stuff, but I would stay in like the thatched roof, like
or like a tree house
type of thing. And John's like, no, you can do that with your girlfriend.
That is so funny.
So there's a place that's in the Dominican Republic. It's called the Treehouse Village, and you literally sleep in tree houses. So your first night there, you're like, what the fuck? Can you keep it down out there? Because it's so freaking loud with the nature and the bugs and
really,
like you just hear everything.
Is it open
space?
space?
So you shut the.
Literally sounds like a jungle. Like
you're
crazy.
in the jungle. You're in the middle of the jungle, and the water's below, and then you're in the jungle, so it fucking rains.
God, sounds amazing.
So the rain is so loud, wakes you up, but it takes like a day or two to get acclimated to all the sounds because it's so loud. You're like, oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna sleep here?
I can't even imagine that.
So then by night 5 or 6, you're like, you love it. You're just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And you're saying it's covered by like mosquito netting, or is it just?
So the bed is surrounded by mosquito netting, so they don't get in there. But your whole room is you're open. You're in a freaking tree house. You shower outdoors, the bathroom, but it's so beautiful and nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Yeah, I feel like you would love it.
Yeah.
And then you're in a little village. You ride bikes to the beach. There's animals on the beach. So there's a bull, and I have videos. It's I've never seen anything like it in my life.
Amazing.
Wow.
I feel like you would love it.
I would. It sounds like I would love it.
Let's go.
All right,
I'm going to message them.
We're gonna have to convince John because he loves animals, which I love about him. Like we get so excited. Like we just found a gecko in our garage and we kept it. It lives in our bathroom. It lives in one of our bathrooms now, and I feed it crickets.
Oh my God.
We're both so excited about it, and we all like we go in there and admire him, like how cute he is, and he's growing. And like when we do go out in nature and we find something, we both get really excited. So I love that because we just have so much love for animals, and we're obsessed with our cats.
How many nights will he survive though out there?
But if he actually has to sleep in it, I don't know. That's a different story for him.
I feel like we should make him do it and bring Travis to record it.
Well, at least
It'll be like Survivor, but with like.
John has so many peculiarities. Like he's fine with animals, but when it comes to bugs, he's like, no, he doesn't want to do it. Like he won't feed the gecko. I have to do it. But
And you guys had a fox in your backyard.
In our neighbor's backyard. It was
okay.
So cute. Oh my God.
Did it come back all the time, you mean? Was it like...
No, it just was like hanging out, strolling the streets because we live in a new community. So they're building houses, and I think the animals are kind of confused, which I'm sad about. But we see coyotes and foxes and
craziness.
And geckos. But yeah.
Okay, so you take care of the lizard. Yes. What about babies?
I am not interested in having children.
What?
No. Yeah, and that's a good question. I actually wanted to bring that up because John was really worried about that because he does not want kids.
Right.
And he was like, this girl's so young, she's going to want kids.
Right. Which is a huge thing dealing with the age gap.
How did you know that you didn't want them?
I've known since I was a little girl.
You just were like, I never want to.
My entire life.
Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask how far along before that went off the table, basically? Like how long into your relationship did you guys have that discussion so he wouldn't feel so?
Really early. You know what? I don't remember when we first had that conversation, but it was honestly within the first week or two.
Okay, because I know I'm sure you didn't want to waste your time and vice versa. Yeah. You know, that's a big conversation to have. I feel like
some people wait, so you guys kind of got that.
Yeah. Because I feel like I'm kind of one of those people where if you are giving me good energy and you're being compassionate and kind, like I can open up and like tell you about my whole life, you know.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't even be that open with people, but I am. It's just how I am. So yeah, we got it kind of all out there in the open in the very beginning, and he was so relieved. You have no idea.
Again, like a
that.
perfect fit.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, once again, it's your old soul versus him. And I like the fact that he asks questions like that. He seems like, he asks a lot of questions, which is amazing, by the way.
But, he did tell me early in the beginning, and he still said it, later on, that if I really wanted to, he'd be willing to.
Okay.
Aww.
Right.
And I know how much he doesn't want them, so it's really sweet of him to say that, but I don't think I'm going to change my mind. Okay. Everybody tries to tell me I will, but
yeah, I'm
30
too.
and I still have 0 interest.
I feel like if you knew from an early age, chances are you're not going to change your mind because it's something that she decided like early on.
Right.
To where like my ex in the beginning, because we had a pretty big gap, I think we were like 14 years. And he was like, maybe at some point, like I would like to have kids. And I'm like, that's completely off the table for me. It's like a non-negotiable. So we might as well, go our separate ways. And then he's like, oh, but I changed my mind. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to put in, like the time. And then all of a sudden you're, 35 or 30. And then you're like entertaining this again. Like I'm not going to change my mind. And then I'm not freezing my eggs. I'm not interested. So it was a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can see him maybe being a little like concerned, like, oh shit, well, what it was when she's 30 or 35. So that hasn't changed for her. So I feel like if you know early on, chances of you changing your mind are pretty like slim to none, like she said.
Which the only caveat, I agree with you. And you guys have been together a lot in a sense where you're enough into your relationship now to probably stay that way. But I do know a lot of girls when they get into it and they say that they don't, and all of a sudden they get to around that 36-year-old age, when that clock is ticking around the end time of it, where it starts kicking in a little bit more. So not to say that yours will or it won't, but once again, it's just a conversation. So it's all. It's another conversation. That's all.
And maybe I've told him like it's possible that my hormones change and like I can't help feeling that way. Like your brain convinces you otherwise.
Right.
But
that's my best friend.
What I actually want is different.
Right.
I see that though.
Yeah.
Like I can see them living an amazing life and
just not out in the woods.
Not having.
Not in the yeah. And so also, he's 51 now. I definitely am not ready for kids right now. If I were to change my mind, I'm still not ready. So when would that be? How old is he going to be? 55, 56?
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to do that to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to be grandpa, dad either, for sure. So, all right, let's talk about the flip side of this now. So, we got how the guys and the girl. Let's flip this and flip the switch where the older women now dating the younger guys.
What the fuck are you looking at me?
I'm not looking at you. I was just saying, I'm just. There's two sides to all this as well. And there's a thing like how Madonna, J-Lo, there's a thing where older women love to be with younger men now, and it's a new thing now because these women are stronger, fitter. They have a career. That's another thing as well. They're not homemakers anymore. So there's the other. We got to give it for both sides of the show. There's those girls out there who will date younger because now they match up to those guys that are in their 30s and they're matching up well. So they want something young and fitter and hotter, not some old geezer who's 80 running around taking care of a girl at the movies and being perverted.
Or they've gone through divorce and they're like, I want to have fun now.
Exactly.
I've been bored for 25 years.
I appreciate that. I think that's a thing. And I admire the women for doing that because once again, it's like these are these strong, powerful women who know what they want now and they get it.
Yeah.
So there's the other half. So do we know any friends like that? Like I have a few friends that are dating a couple of younger guys and stuff. One right next to me, I'm going to talk right now. I'm not going to look at her right now, but
dating younger guys?
Yeah,
dating younger guys. That way.
Yeah, so
there you are.
Shut the fuck up.
Hi, honey. You want to share?
Yeah, so I don't want to say I always, but like my last two relationships have been younger.
Which they've been good though too.
And this is new for you,
really
right?
Good. Well, I've never dated older. Only when I was younger, like when I was like in high school, like my boyfriends were always older. But then after I got divorced, I don't know what it is, but like I said, I never asked the age. I just kind of like assumed. And then when I found out, like Taylor was young, I think he was like 21 or 22. But we dated for like 3 years and it worked until like the kids thing came in play. And then that's when I was like, yeah.
See, here's my thought on this. Like I said, you've been through life, but you're also, you're fucking hot, but you're also a fucking boss. You know what I mean? And I feel like once again, you're that type where you're a very alpha type woman when it comes to certain things in your life. And when it comes to certain things in your life, so it's like, so that's the quality that like I used to be when I was younger, and that was like always attracted to older women. For some reason, it's like I've always wanted to be with a powerful woman who, in our relationship, everything's equal, but she has her way. She knows what she wants, and there's no wishy-washiness. So that's a huge attraction for me. And so that's why I could see that happening for you, because these guys that you're with, who you've been with for a while, by the way, you know, they're all like, you guys match up really well in a sense, because you are a boss, and you, quite frankly, you just love running shit.
Do you think I'm bossy?
No,
Chris?
I'm not. I did not use the term bossy. Did you hear me say bossy,
Not
Vanessa?
bossy.
I said
Yeah.
you're
It's a totally
boss,
different thing.
which means that you're empowering, you're strong, you're independent. You know, you are all those things.
you
and
run
that's
the
what I mean by
show.
a boss.
I think I need someone that's like my level or higher. That's what I've learned the last couple years. So I need someone that can match my energy or be a little more aggressive than I am. And not, I always date like great guys. They're really, really nice. But I think what I'm starting to like identify, like a good need for me, is someone that's a little more assertive. So, not like disrespectful or mean, but just a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that though.
Yeah. Me
So,
too.
because I am always in charge. So it would be nice to be like, tag, you're it.
Yeah, and have them take over.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where, I mean, you know, my last two, they're like, I can't even say anything really like negative about them because they're great guys. I just need a little more like, you know.
I get it.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Okay.
And I don't think it's it's not a numbers thing. It's more like that vibe and that energy.
I mean,
for me.
Once again,
But-
I'm with you on that.
And I feel like sometimes, with the exception, like me dating someone that's like maybe in their 50s, like I don't know if they would be able to keep up with me, or if my lifestyle would be fun for them. Like it might be exhausting.
Depends who you're with, though, because I feel like I can't keep up with John sometimes.
I can see that, but that's like, I feel like his energy is like
His
different.
energy is crazy.
Do you think that okay, so this is a good question. Do you think that other men his age have his like personality and energy?
No.
They don't.
No.
Like his friends that come in? None of
They're
them?
not.
Okay.
No, they're all great people.
Yeah.
I like hanging
Yeah.
out with them, but they're so different.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
That's why when he told me how old he was, it's almost like I didn't believe him. Like,
Yeah.
why are you
Yeah.
lying? Can I see your ID?
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, to be honest, it's really funny because some of my friends, their fathers are younger than John.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
like-
guess that would, yeah.
This
wow.
is awkward. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. But
But-
it
and
works.
they're-
It works.
yeah.
You know, it's just the way that things match up. And I feel like for you, finding that for you, Jamie, it's going to be, I'm not going to say hard. No, I'm being honest. I'm not going to say hard. I just feel like it's like a lot of older guys are, you know, if they're single, kind of stuck in their ways a little bit. Would you
for
you agree
sure.
with that,
Yeah.
Vanessa? And they're stuck in their ways, and it's just that thing where if they're going younger, it's for a reason why they're going younger. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to want to. I mean, like I said, your level with them, it's going to intimidate most of them, because they're going to feel like, well, she's already doing this on her own. She doesn't need me for nothing. Some guys want a girl that need them for something, I feel like, as
Yeah,
well.
I see that too.
The older guys,
like
I
they
mean,
want
though.
to feel like needed, and
Yeah.
she depends on them for a lot, and that's it's not really like my personality.
Yeah, and you're
at
not,
all.
and you travel a lot. You're not around a lot, and so it's one of those things where unless it's just a guy who's just like, you know, I'm in my job, I'm doing this and this and that. That's who you're going to find, but that's far and few between, I feel like, as well. But there's
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah. You want a go-getter that kind of has their own life, right?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
And they're like busy and not like having to tag along with me. Like they have their own thing going. Like I need
Right.
someone that has their own thing going. They're successful. And like I add to them just as well as they like add to me.
Right.
Right.
But we both are successful and good on our own.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, like a team. We're a team.
Yeah.
Teamwork. Speaking of teamwork,
like
here we
that.
go. How's that work in the bedroom? How's that teamwork working?
Oh, great.
Yeah. Tell us, who's the dominant one in the bedroom?
In the bedroom.
I just
In the
wanna- I
bedroom?
just want to know. I'm like, we're asking the hard questions here.
Well, if you know John, he's a very assertive personality,
This is why.
and that translates to the bedroom.
Yeah.
But I like that.
Good.
I like that.
Good. Okay, so where do you, for yourself now, you know, once you get like after today, you're leaving, go back to work and all this stuff like that you love to do and everything. Yeah, you can be fending off the guys big time. So like and everything, it's probably easy
We're
for you.
used to it.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know you both are. I know you both are. We're sitting in her section next time, by the way.
I love
Yes.
watching the videos when she's like working out, because sometimes John will like video it,
He's
and
so funny.
there's guys like hitting on her
At the gym.
at the gym, and he's over there just like recording, but he's not like a dick about it. It's like, yeah, my chick's hot, but guess what? She's coming home to me, and I
He
can
was saying
appreciate that.
I love
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
And he's never like goes and says anything to them. Like he knows it's
Yeah.
fine. Nothing's going to happen. He's never worried. And he's just like, let them shoot their shot. It's not going to happen.
This is why he's such a good guy, though, because it's
Yeah.
like he's not insecure.
Yeah.
He's
about
not trying to
anything.
stake his claim.
Exactly.
Like,
He
hey,
doesn't want to
Yeah.
embarrass them or like anything like that.
Right.
So,
I love that.
he's
do you
good.
do you like the way he is, or do you wish he'd be a little more like aggressive?
No,
or you're
I
good?
love the way he is.
Okay.
He's one of those guys who like he likes to show me off for sure. And like when we go out on dates and I'm dressed up and stuff, like he loves that people are looking at
Yes.
us. It's just when people get disrespectful, like there's a certain line that gets crossed,
course.
and then he becomes very assertive, aggressive, which I like.
So
Right.
what happens
Because
in
it's
that
like
case?
when it's called for, he will address it.
Right. Which is what it should be all the time, because I feel
Yeah.
like you should be able to handle every situation. This is what I do with my girlfriend, or quite frankly, any of my girlfriends. Actually, if they're out and I'm there with them, I will never ever step up to do anything weird like that unless you know it's a red flag situation and you can sense that as a guy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the good guys I'm talking about, like John
Right.
is, and just know when it's time to just say, hey, you know what, you've set boundaries now.
Yeah.
So move, bitch, get out.
Has
the
that
way.
ever
John-
happened?
If people are being respectful, but he sees them looking or they say something, like he'll usually be cool and just be like, "Yeah, I know," kind of deal. But if they say something really inappropriate or they're just being like gross, then he gets very in your face. Like, "You got a problem? Like, what do you want?" You know, and he'll be ready for anything.
Okay.
And we've had a couple of instances where people have really crossed the line, and John is literally ready to get in a fist fight.
Okay.
But
Right.
yeah.
Well, that just comes with the territory, you know. I
Yeah.
mean, geez. What about
Let
you?
him
Do
do
you
what
have
he's
to?
gonna
Have
do.
any of the guys have to do that in a way, like recently with you? I mean, I know I had to come save you, just but a different kind of saving the other night. She had the 911 me on her phone the other night, and I was like,
Really?
I had to literally wherever I
help.
was, I swooped down there real fast as I could through the crowd and go, "Hey, honey, it's time to go," you know, sort of
Yeah.
thing,
Yeah.
because she was at that point.
Yeah.
Where she's like, and I always say when you know when you need help, and I'm sure your eye signals to him
Right.
are like, oh, and it's time
Yeah.
to jump in there.
Yeah. So I don't want like someone that's like overly aggressive, because that again is like a turn off. So
Yeah.
you don't want your guy over there picking fights with everyone and whooping ass. Like it's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So someone that can like smooth it over in a nice classy way, but they're also like firm enough to be like, "Look, motherfucker." Like she said,
Exactly.
back the fuck off.
Right.
And they know that he means business. Versus someone that's just gonna like push someone and get in an altercation.
Right. Got it.
So I think being able to read the situation before it gets to that point is very attractive.
Right.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
think he's good at that, like for sure. Like he knows when it's crossing the line and where somebody's, you know, getting to the point where it's going to be a problem. He's willing to fight for it, but he's not going to like cause a scene for something. And like obviously people are going to look, they're going to look at you,
Right.
and like your guy has to know that and be okay with it. And
Right.
he just embraces it.
Yeah.
And he's
I
like,
love
"No, this
that.
is great." Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it seems like you're real happy, and just
Yeah.
he speaks super highly of you when we had him on, and even out there when he's just talking,
Always.
he's just like always just like
Yeah.
Vanessa. So, and I'm like,
And
oh,
when
I
he
love
showed
that.
me like photos, I'm like, wow, she's super hot. Like, how'd you get her? Like giving him a hard time, and because I gotta like give him shit.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "I'm just so fucking lucky."
Yeah,
and I'm
he's
like,
super
"Yeah,
humble.
yeah, you are fucking lucky."
Yeah.
And then I remember when I saw her like in person, I'm like, "Holy shit, she's hotter than her photos! Like, how is this even possible?" So yeah, it was
painting
cool.
girl.
Yeah, he's super
I was like,
humble.
"High five,
He's
John!"
So funny. I love the story. Like the
you.
version that he gave him when he wanted to meet you. He goes, "What did he say?" He goes, "I went to the bathroom and was prepping, and all of a sudden I come out. I was
talk.
ready
Yeah.
to go out and meet her. She was gone. Remember that?" So he goes,
Yes,
"So I had to have my
yeah.
friends come back to the same steakhouse again."
Yeah.
And like again, John. He goes, "Dude, you've got to
Like
go
2
back
weeks
for me."
later. Yeah.
That's what he was saying. So
Yeah.
I thought he went back the next day.
he went back a few times.
Yeah.
He did the work.
He did the work. Yeah.
Did the
Was that
homework.
attractive to you, or are you like, "Oh my god"?
Sure. No, it was great. I loved
Yeah.
it.
Very cool. See, I always tell guys too, like you have to like pursue. So if you really know that, hey, this is the girl I want to take out and date, don't like guys give up too easy.
Yeah.
Go after what you want.
But do it in a way that's not too aggressive, too like in your face.
It wasn't like stalkerish.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean by that.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like even like you said, he talked to you for 2 hours when you said that at the host stand.
Yeah.
That's an attribute to him, but also you were engaged, and I think that's amazing. He did it the right way. So
Definitely.
unbelievable.
I love it.
All right, honey, what else do we want to ask this gorgeous girl?
I don't know. What else do you have?
Well,
I look at all these like
What are
great
the juicy
notes.
questions?
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna finish this off on
Okay.
one little thing, but and to backtrack, because I wanted to always do the flip side of this as well.
Yes.
My mom was older than my dad. She was 4 years older.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
and I feel like sometimes I want to know if people, when they go the route of older and younger, you want to know their background history a little bit. Sometimes I feel like, is it a father figure situation? Is it this? Is it that? You know, I know there's probably all different types, which is nothing wrong because a lot of girls love their dads, and that's where they want to obviously like the same, where they say it's, guys for their moms. You know, we always try to kind of match it up in a way where it's familiar. So is that anything to do with John? How is your dad? You know, is he funny? Is he anything like that? Okay.
Actually, my dad's a lot like John in many ways.
Yeah.
He's very social. He's very loud. He's funny. And my mom and I are a lot alike. Like I think we both complement our men well.
Good.
Because my mom and I are more calm, and I think we balance each other.
I love that.
John and my dad are crazy, and they have fun together.
I love that.
They got along day one, like so great, and I was kind of shocked because I thought my dad was going to be upset about it. And actually, for the first couple months we were dating, I didn't tell them his name. I didn't tell him anything because I knew they were going to look him up and like see that he was older and all that stuff. And I was just like, no, I'm going to wait and make them meet him. And so this is actually a funny story. Maybe he told you. So a couple months into dating, I was going to go to LA and visit him because he was living there for the first 4 months we were dating. And John actually came every single week to visit me.
He said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single week, which is amazing.
He moved here for you.
He moved here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But,
Okay, so when your parents met him,
So I was going through a lot at that time, and I was starting a new job and just so many changes in my life. So he was coming to visit me. So I finally went to go visit him in LA. And I told my parents because, they worry about me, and we're very close. We talk all the time. And they were kind of like, oh my God, you're going to see this guy in LA? Like, who is he? Is he going to kidnap you? Like, this kind of like, they get worried because they're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? So how did this happen? I ended up going to visit them, I think, first. I went home, and John was like, well, why don't I go with you and meet them? And I'm like, go home, like to my hometown and meet my parents? Like, okay. And then we talked about it more, like, actually, we shouldn't even tell them that you're coming.
Oh, wow.
We didn't tell them that he was coming. And he just got on the plane, and he showed up at the airport, and I'm like, by the way, this is the guy. And he like walks around the corner, and my parents were like, wait, what's happening? And John said, yeah, I actually just got on the plane to meet you. Like, I'm not, I don't need to come to your house or anything. Like, I'm just going to fly back. I just wanted you to see who I am.
Holy
and
crap,
like,
that's amazing.
Maybe we can have lunch or something and get to know each other a little bit. And then I'll go home. And they were just so in shock. Like, what is happening? Like, who is this guy? And he was just going to leave. And my dad was so nice right away.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, yeah, come to the house. Like, come hang out. Let's have dinner. Let's do this. And I was like, okay. And my mom's standing there just like in shock because it was hard for her the first day. And so he gets in the car with us. And my mom's sitting in the back so silent. And they're talking, just getting along like friends already. And my mom, out of nowhere, she's like, can I ask you something? She could tell he was older, but she didn't know how much. She's like, how old are you? And we all just started laughing. And he's like, I don't want to tell you. And she's like, no, really. And he said he's 46.
Mm-hmm.
I was 25 at the time. And we could tell it was like bothering
Shock,
her.
yeah.
She was kind of like, what the fuck is going on? But my dad didn't seem fazed at all. He was
Were
like,
you
I
looking?
wonder why. Like your
Right.
dad was just like, he is so cool.
I was shocked. Like
Yeah.
I was way more worried about my dad than my mom. But they were like, didn't even skip a beat with my dad. He was fine.
How long did it take your mom to come around?
It only took that one day.
Oh, that's great. When she
okay.
went home and you guys had more time together?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the car ride, it was tough. And then we had dinner and they got to know each other. And he was so sweet and friendly. And like we talked about all the things we've been doing together. And And then she like the next day she was totally fine. She was
great.
like,
Did he stay
I
the
really
night?
like him, and he seemed really sweet, and that was just a really good gesture for him to come meet us, because he knew that they were worried about me going to LA and like getting kidnapped.
Yeah. You're like, look what I brought you back.
And no, they actually offered to let him stay, and he's like, no, I didn't want to like intrude on your time with her, and he took a taxi back to the airport and he went home.
God, that's great. That's a fantastic
And
story. No, we
they've
don't know
been-
that one's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been so close ever since. Like John loves my parents and they love him, and we talk all the time on the phone, and he's always there.
He's a family guy, right? I mean,
Yeah.
John's really family oriented, right?
My parents come to visit all the time, and
Okay.
he loves them. He never wants them to leave. He wants them to stay longer. And yeah.
Do
So
you
it's
have
great.
siblings?
I have a younger sister and an older brother.
Okay. Does your mom put pressure on you to have grandkids?
Not at all.
babies? Oh, good.
Not at all.
That's awesome.
Because they know that my brother and sister want them.
Okay.
And actually, my mom didn't want kids.
Oh.
So she's one that did change her mind.
Yeah.
They were married for 13 years before my mom's like, you know what? I want them. I want
Wow.
3.
How old was your mom when she decided?
I think she was 35, 30, 34, something
So
like
she
that.
started a little later
Yeah.
and had 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad was like, all right. He didn't want him anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
we're
Well,
super close.
You
And
do
how
what you
long
do,
have
love
they
what you love.
been married and together?
They've been married 47 years.
Wow.
That's amazing. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I was
Yeah.
saying it's like, whether, and by the way, I asked
And
the
so
question
great.
on-
She does have a great relationship
with your
with her
dad.
father.
Yeah, and,
do.
and it had nothing to do with age. It's just, I just wanted to know, like, sometimes people have that familiarity with someone that they're
Yeah.
with. What's the connection? And I think
Yeah.
that's amazing. So,
And another point on that is like, I think it's actually a good thing that my dad was so crazy and boisterous and like embarrassed me when I was younger, because now I'm used to it. And I just let John be like what he is. I mean, he's crazy. If you go out with him, he's so loud and he'll say and do anything, and he's hilarious. But I'm just like,
so funny. Travis, have you
I'm
been out
used
with
to
John,
it.
Travis?
Out with
Yeah.
John?
Like, have you guys done anything out like that?
No, like the
Okay.
most we do is have dinners and chat. I'm also an old soul. I don't really like to party or drink. So John and I kind of vibe on that way.
you come to our chill like house parties, but we
Yeah,
haven't been
but-
out like.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
I've never been to a nightclub ever.
No,
period.
yet.
So
Never in your life?
Never. I've been turned away because I was wearing the wrong shoes, and that was like, oh, so I'm never going to a nightclub. ever.
We're gonna have to do like a group outing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of
agree.
fun.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think I'm going to ask you the question of the day now.
Okay.
So we
Okay.
do a question of the day after every
Okay.
episode, and you get the first to answer this. So, you ready for this one?
I think so.
All right, here we go. Hey guys, Happy New Year's, and looking forward to all the incredible guests you have lined up for this year's show. So here's my question. I'm in my late 20s and in a 2-year relationship with an amazing woman, but not sure if I'm in a position to marry her just yet financially. I only want to give her the finer things in life, but still struggle with my manhood as being the provider for us. What do you think? Am I crazy by not doing just what my gut says, or am I being selfish by letting my pride and ego win? What do you think about that?
I
Sounds
think.
like, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What were you
I
going
was
to
just
say?
gonna
Sounds
like sum it up. Sounds like he's in this 2-year relationship. He really likes her. He wants to be, and he apparently wants to marry her, but just a little unsure.
But I think he's being responsible and he's thinking about her needs and like how he can take care of her. And obviously, I think any of us, like, we want to be able to take care of ourselves, but we also want a man who can take care of us too. And we want to balance each other out. And so I respect that he wants to give her the most and be in a better financial position.
Okay.
And I think 2 years, like, you still have some time.
Right.
You still have some time.
Do
There's
peop-
not too much pressure.
But do girls feel, I know the pressure starts building around that 2-year period as well. I mean, would you
I mean, I can talk about that.
agree on that though?
Yeah.
See,
so we've been together for 5 years.
I think I stumped her.
We are unofficially engaged.
Okay.
We are still not
Okay.
officially engaged, John.
John,
Oh my God, he's feeling the heat from everybody.
does he know what you want ring wise?
I don't know. I think so. I mean, my friends do.
Okay,
So I
well-
think so, but
Your friends need to start sending him photos.
no, I think they probably are. But
Okay.
I think she just needs to put a picture under the pillow, like the Red Ryder BB gun.
Just so
do-
he
John's gonna be
knows.
like, "Oh God, this episode they had to go there."
Okay, but you
Like,
flinched
but
a little
5
bit. Hold on, but
years.
when I said 2, you were like,
Oh
a little
shit!
bit
Oh shit!
Guys, we just had an appearance by John Orlando peek into the room, and he spoke his mind on it.
I think this guy knows my situation. He knows.
Hold on, but I saw you had a little bit of a flinch in there when I said 2 years. I wanted to know, did this talk start happening around that time for you?
Well, the funny thing is, like I said, he said, like, the weekend we met, he's like, I'm going to marry you one day. And he kept telling me early in the beginning, like, he wanted to get married before he was 50 because he didn't want me to have to marry such an old guy. And like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And I was coming out of a really long relationship. You know, I was actually married too.
Okay.
So you said you've been divorced as well. I married my high school sweetheart, and it lasted much longer than it should have. But it was a learning experience.
Right.
It was military. That's why it happened so young. So that's kind of what I was going through actually when John and I met. So I told him, like, I'm not in a rush. Don't worry about it. We can take your time. And I think he's kind of in the same position. Like, he does well and he's successful, but I think because he's older, or at least this is what my friends have said, like, he wants to give me the most and he feels like he has to make up for it, which I don't think that he does, but he feels that way.
Okay.
And I respect that, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the first day that I met him, he told me he's marrying you.
Oh.
So he's probably just planning big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But John, it's been 5 years.
Right.
5 years, John.
But I know that people
So like
wanna,
2 years, and this guy's in
Yeah.
his late 20s. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine. You're fine.
Right.
Yeah.
So you agree that
But
he's on point of saying, like, if you want to get your stuff in order.
Yeah.
And then so I agree with you.
I appreciate that he wants to get his financial life in order and be able to show her, like, I
Right.
can take care of you, and I'm going to be stable and responsible. And I really like that.
Do you think he should have the conversation with her so she at least knows?
Well, that's what I was
Or does he
getting at.
wait?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think he should have the conversation and just see if she's on the same page, if that's where she wants to go.
Yeah.
But I think, sorry, John, but I think like year 3, you should probably get on that.
Okay. And what do you say, Jamie, on this?
I think after the first year, like, I feel
Yeah.
like 1 year, if you're going to stay with that person or if you're moving on.
Right.
And so there's no sense in dragging it out after that year.
Right.
If you need a little more time, yeah, fine, like 2 years. But I am also not a big proponent for marriage.
Okay.
Really?
Only because I don't want the government involved in my relationship. That's
you've
the
said
only
before.
reason why. But I would wear a ring.
Do you want the wedding? Like, even if it wasn't legal, would you want the party, the celebration?
Well, we always want the party.
Okay, yeah, I always want a
Right?
good party. I think I'm different that, and I'm a little more older, so it's not important to me at this point in time. But I already had like a big, beautiful wedding.
Yeah.
So I already got to experience that, and I feel like most women and girls, they should. Like, you should have
do
it
you
and
want-
celebrate it. And do you want a big
Yeah.
wedding?
Yeah.
I do, because the first time around I didn't have a wedding. Like, I
Yeah.
got married at
Okay.
the courthouse.
That makes a lot of sense.
And it was, not very romantic, not super
And it wasn't
exciting. Like,
special for
it
you.
was just signing a piece of paper, honestly. Like, my family wasn't there, nobody was there.
It's funny on the reversal
Yeah.
like that, like you just said, because it was different for you the first time. Now
Yeah.
you want this the second time.
Yeah.
Where if
Like,
it-
I want that for her.
Yeah, like I want the reversal now
Yeah.
because I've already had the wedding and now I'm looking
Right.
for just the courthouse and whatever it is when
Really?
it happens again.
See, I don't want
So-
the courthouse, nothing.
Okay.
I just want a nice
Yeah.
little ring to be like, we're committed to each other.
Right.
And then,
I totally understand
Yeah.
that.
yeah. But I feel like I said, I want to see the celebration for you. Like,
Yeah, I
I
agree.
want to see the dress and,
Yeah.
Plus, John's bougie. I want to see it all just because how
Oh,
bougie
hell
it is.
yeah.
I
It's
wanna see
gonna
what
be
else steps it
wild.
up,
Yeah.
right? For
Yeah.
sure.
Do you know
So-
where you want to be and like get married? Like, do you have anything
no
like
idea.
that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, he's
But I
gotta-
know with John, it's going to be huge. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you had
Yeah.
said something off this question. I'm going to backtrack with you,
Yeah.
Jamie, where you said after a year, but what if the person, obviously, I'm going to go two sides to this.
Yeah.
Your answer is totally spot on. I feel like as long as the person's communicating that to
they're
the person he's
interested in
with,
that.
and that they keep the lines open so she doesn't feel like she's just being strung along
Right.
along the way. And because you never know when you're going to reach that potential. But
Right.
what does that financial potential mean to you? It could be so many different things, right? But you said after a year, you should know.
Yes.
But what if he posed that question on saying, hey, I still would like to be at this point first. I would love to marry you, but I need this time for me to get
that's
this.
communication.
That's
I think
acceptable,
that's what
right?
you should say.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
Agreed.
should
So you
let her
guys know that you have a common goal and you guys are working towards that. Like you're a team player.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this, and it's not like selfish. If anything, it's selfless of him because he's wanting to give and provide more for her.
Okay.
So I think he needs to like let her know, like, hey, this is where I'm at, and she's gonna.
Right. Because if he went, you know, another year, 2 more years, and he just says nothing, she's gonna be like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, what is
going
happening?
on?
Where are we going? Is this gonna happen?"
Right.
At some point, they
So-
need to have the conversation.
Right. So John, there's a lot of heat on him right
Let's
now.
call this guy
But,
John. How about his name's
however,
John, Vanessa?
at least he
Okay.
communicates like throughout the entire 5 years. He's like, "No, it is happening. I'm
Good.
going to marry you. This is
Good.
what I want."
Okay, well, you hear that 20-something John that's
So-
on who asked this question. I believe in these are both great answers, and I
Yeah.
think you're spot on. Communication is key to all this, and once again, just make sure she doesn't feel like she's being strung along, because I know, like, once again, you never really know what that financial potential that you're looking for is. So just give yourself a time. I feel like a timestamp as well, and say, okay, I've made X amount or whatever you're looking for. I'm at this part of my career. I think it's time I can do this.
Right.
Yeah.
You probably soon find out that that's not the most important thing anyways.
Right.
You know, you just want to be with this girl. That's
Right.
probably going to end up doing that anyways.
agree.
So, all right.
And
all right.
can I add something
Yes,
else
please.
too? I think it's also depends on your relationship, the age gap, what your expectations are as far as kids too. So like for me, I don't want kids. So that's part of the reason I wasn't in a rush, you know, because I'd already been through the divorce and I don't want kids. So it's not like he has to marry me by 30 and we're going to have kids within 2 years. Like there's a lot of people with those timelines,
Right.
That's very
those
true.
expectations.
Yeah.
But for me, like if we're together and we're happy, like I want it, but it doesn't have to be in a time frame.
Okay.
Right.
For him, maybe she's 28, 29, whatever, and hoping that it's coming soon so she can start having kids.
Right.
So at least communicate with her so she knows that she's like on track.
That's a good
Because
answer.
that's really important to a lot of girls.
Right. And quite frankly, most girls don't want to waste their time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
these are
I
great
agree.
answers.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad I'm not that dude. That's all I can say. Glad I'm
He's
not him.
fine. He's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. All right. You are fine, guy. All right. So,
Don't worry.
all right, Jamie. Well, let's start with you, Vanessa. What do you want to plug? What would you like to plug right now for yourself? Side socials.
Where can we find you?
Yes.
I just say my Instagram, Vanessa_Serros.
Okay.
Travis has it up there, right?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
And Jamie, what about
And
yourself?
then we can also find you on.
You can find me on OnlyFans. I'm not quite as active as I was. I'm going back to bottle service and I'll kind of do OnlyFans kind of on the side more.
Yeah.
But the past 2 years, that was basically my entire income.
Got it.
But it's
And you
been
can
good.
find her at What Republic coming. Oh, I mean, this will be out after that. Review.
Yeah.
But you can find her
Yeah.
there, guys, and just look for her. She's a gorgeous, beautiful girl, and she will definitely take care of you. So just be
She's
nice.
definuling going to be the hottest one
Yeah,
there.
be nice and charming.
So
just don't
find
be
her
rude.
you.
section.
Yeah, we will come hunt you down, people.
Yes,
We will hunt you down.
We'll find you.
Yeah. Jamie, what do you want to
Yeah, shout out to Microtech for always making me the best blades ever. And we were working on a collab for a big show coming in Texas in March.
great.
So yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to be creating my own blades, so I'm really excited.
Oh, the
Does that
Jamie
have-
Vive blade.
Does that have rhinestones on it?
It's Stingray, yeah.
See this.
So great. All right, guys. Well, they're flipping and passing blades
Oh, I
across
like
the table.
that.
I'm going to say
have to get
you
you
can find
one.
me at Christopher Lewis at Fetch Sport on anything social media, and at Dating Intelligence, anything social media as well. And Vanessa, thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much for having me. That was
Amazing.
really fun.
Yeah, we'll have you back again.
It was, for
Both you
sure.
guys on.
I would love to.
We want to have her
Yeah,
with
together.
a group. Yeah.
I think
yeah.
that would be amazing.
Hot seat.
Okay. So,
I love it.
totally. All right, guys. That's another episode. Thanks again. See you soon.